Hi there, Jeff. Hope you're having a great day today and having a good time with your family and enjoying your new house. Video lesson for today. Four things I want to talk about. I'll go down the list. If you have questions at the end or want me to look at anything, feel free to shoot a message on over and I will do my best to answer. So let's get to it. So first thing, like I said, awesome job on Allegro. It sounds really nice. The phrasing was really nice. There's one little phrasing thing I want to talk about. Not a huge deal. It's more interpretation than anything else. The dum bum 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 ba da 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 dum dum. It was quite nice. The rhythm was nice and steady. I can hear the melody clear, the bass line's clear. So keep up the good work. Book two is a. I wish I had studied book two when I was in college because there's a lot of great technique builders in there. We can really practice and hone these classical guitar techniques. Without the pressure of having like these knuckle buster tunes where you're trying to get through. We are going to do some knuckle busters, don't worry. They just pop up around like book three, book four. You'll start having stuff that's a little, you move around a little bit. But you're making really great progress so far. So really pleased in the short amount of time that we've been working together, about this last 6 months. You've come a long way, so you should feel really happy about your progress. So you can crack one open and celebrate. Book two, Allegro, you're firmly in book two repertoire and in technique, like those fingers together sort of thing. So, like I said, awesome job. Hopefully you play it for your mom. You can give a recital for your family if you feel up for it. If not, that's fine too. One good thing I really did like in it was you went from the D chord shape here, and this is the B section. This is like right around measures 9 and 10, where you have the that part right there. So what I really liked was your knuckles were diagonal, going down this way, slanting in this direction. So you had that, what was it? That's it. And then you turned into, you did that right there, which was really nice because you're here. If you notice, I'm not sure if you picked up on it or not, or if you did it by design or happy accident, but the happy accident was a good one. And then when you turned here into horizontal hand, it was very nice and elegant. Other thing I like too was the Miami pattern in in measure 4. That was a really good. And I was actually working on a piece earlier today, and that Miami pattern AMI stuff pops up all the time. IMA, AMI pops up a lot in what we do. So keep working at that. As far as is something to coach you on with it, I'm picking on you a little bit here. This is an interpretation thing. What I heard was you did something along the lines of this. Like I said, I'm picking on you a little bit, and I might exaggerate a little bit to make the teaching point. I'm exaggerating a little bit of how much you rallentando right there, but I think you start the rallentando so this is like a little bit too early and too much all at once. Remember, these effects should never ever get in the way of the music itself. I wouldn't start the rallentando until I get the E, C sharp, B. I wouldn't start it until I get there. Otherwise, it's kind of like the train's slowing down. The station's too far away, and the train still has a couple of miles left to go before you get to the station, but you're slowing down anyway for no reason. Everyone in the train's like, "Whoa, when are we gonna get there?" So I would play it more like this. I would go. This is starting in measure 12, 11. Starting in measure 11. Yeah, so a little bit less rallentando, just a little dab will do you with something like this, and then do more of the fermata. So do less of rallentando and more of fermata. So you like this. Ba-da-dee-dum, ba-dee-dum. Right, the wrong note. So take a little bit more time on the fermata, less of the rallentando. What I would do to work on things like that would be what I'm doing now. It's recording myself. So I'll record it and then go back and listen to it and go, okay, that was a little too much of what I wanted. I'll back that off a bit, or it wasn't quite enough. I need to do that effect more. So recording yourself isn't necessarily like an ego thing in and of itself, right? But I use it as either A, record myself something for Instagram or Facebook or something, and then go back and check like, oh, okay. There's been times where I recorded things that I've wanted to post, and I go back and listen. I'm like, oh man, I didn't realize I was doing it that much. And so sometimes it helps to kind of separate yourself from the moment and then go back and watch again. It's kind of like why sports players, they don't just toss a pigskin in the backyard and go out and play Broncos Stadium, right? There's like an army of people, I'm sure, that are like watching the spiral on the ball, like which way is your ankle going, and they go back and rewatch the tape. Like, oh, I didn't realize I was doing that much. Let's back that off a little bit, or like, let's do it more. So that's what I would do with in terms of self-correction and interpretation, is do recordings of yourself, go back and listen to the playthrough. It's not wasted time. That's actually very valuable practice. So cool, so do that for me. Next thing is the free stroke. I didn't send any technique stuff, so I'll assume kind of like where it is. I'll kind of give you the next steps of where it is. If you do want to send over, you're just doing technique things, I can give you more concrete advice as to what to do. So last where we left off was doing I&M free strokes. We don't need this till piece 6 in the second book, but it's good to start these techniques way ahead of time before you ever need them. That way you can focus on the music rather than how to play the guitar and play the music at the same time. So last where we left off was this free stroke here, right? Going back towards the palm. If you notice, if I turn this way, maybe you can see a bit better. Notice I'm going straight back, moving from this starting the movement here, and then follow through back towards the palm, right? So I'm assuming all that's happening. One thing to avoid is this. Turning the wrist. It takes you out of position right here. So always keep that wrist really straight. Try to be as still as possible. I mean, like there is like a tiniest bit of movement. You can see the muscles. You can see the muscles contract right there, but keeping pretty still. You just see the muscles actually doing their thing like this, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to do strings 4 and 3, the G and the D, and then to the B and the G, strings 2 and 3. And then strings 1 and 2. Now notice I didn't do this. Where I was like reaching for things. Is what is happening here, the C, and then there's a C right here, right? You see the C. And the letter C. And if you notice what I do, the C opens up. And then opens up. Then open from the thumb, so it's this motion right here. It's not a reach with, it's not this with the reach of the fingers. Right? It's the hand opening up. So here, open the hand, and then opposite on the way back down. So you close the hand coming back down. Right? This stays still, the hand does this. You might even want to practice doing a little bit of this right here, feeling that motion. It's not punching the guitar either, it's not this right here. Right? Even though sometimes we feel like we want to do that. Anyway, so then work on that for me, and then a toy. Let's start working on it. I think for this week, listen to it, be able to hum that melody. This is definitely a challenge piece. What else do we need to talk about it? Pull the music up here. So be able to play the melody. It starts off the same as the Bach tons. Remember I said Bach tons was super important. It's one of those important parts of book 1. And this is why, is because it has that, right? See how I'm in that A chord shape? Bum, bum, ba, ba, ba. And then, right? So watch out for that right there. So be careful of the fingering here. The B's and the E's are going to be open. There is a symbol in here that I don't know if I'm sure you saw it when you were younger. I think you said you played, I think it was trumpet. I wanted to say you played. Yeah, it was like something like that. But anyway, just in case you need a refresh, this symbol right here is a natural sign. So what that does is that cancels out the G sharp symbol over here. But then it resumes. So they give you another one here, and then they give you this is called a courtesy accidental. What this means is that like they could have left this off here, but then it might be kind of ambiguous to the performer, or you just might forget that that was originally sharped. But as soon as you leave the measure, right, the natural sign isn't in effect anymore. But they give you what's called a courtesy act, so saying, hey, it was natural before, it's sharp now, but we're just going to say it just one more time that it is sharp, just in case you think it might be natural from the previous measure, or it might be a typo. I did that once to my teacher. I was playing one of his pieces, and over the summer when I was studying between semesters, and I sent him a message like, "Oh, is this note here sharp because that doesn't sound right?" And that's for sure a fire way of pissing off a composer is questioning whether the notes in their score are right or not. So I learned not to do that ever again. So anyway, he did that to me a couple times. I'm better for it though. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. So anyway, so that's that symbol right there. We're in 6/8 time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The accents on beat 1 and beat 4. The eighth note is receiving the beat. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bum 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 ba dum bum ba dum bum 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 ba dum bum ba dum bum ba dee dum. Right. So that's the timing of this piece. The next thing is the measure for the prep is Mammy. Is M, A, M, and then I right here. So I would practice the right hand, same thing we did with the Miami pattern, is M, A, M, I. M, A, M, I. With M, A string 1, M string 2, I, and we have another appearance. Another important moment in the series. Good, so work on that for me, and I think that's everything for a toy. And then lastly, another technique thing are slurs. I had in my notes that we last left off with the 0 to 2 upward slur. All right, so we have that. Right? Remember, we're listening to that click sound. What I want you to work on this week is fingers 1 and then 2. So I have 1 down already, and then hammer on with finger 2 onto the A. So G sharp to A. So we have first finger, second finger, and then same thing on the second string. 1, 2, and then 1, 2. Like I said, we're listening for that click sound. That's that string slamming against the fret wire right here. Cool, man. So work on those 4 things for me. Like I said, if you have questions, feel free to shoot those on over to me. If not, I will see you same time next time.